Morning, good morning, good morning. Dr. Lisa, founder of, president of ADG Group, founder of This is Deeper, home of the Deeper Date Night, and our Touch and Connection Labs. I am back in the United States, and I am settling in. The apartment is mostly moved in. Those boxes are just from my son's birthday yesterday. But art is hung, things are together, dog is going crazy. Normal. So yeah, we're here. We made it through his knee surgery, which is great. And he's doing well and recovering from that. I forgot to say, hi humans. Hi humans at work. Hi humans in relationship with one another. Hi humans on your journey. We are all humans. And so ADG Group and This is Deeper is a human technology oriented company which focuses on the elements of being human and training people to prioritize that over, over other things that distract from the basics of humanity, connection, communication, and touch. So yeah, that's why I'm here to chit chat today. I feel good. I'm pleased to be here. Get used to seeing myself on camera again. It's been a long time. Since I did videos regularly, I do them periodically, but it's regular is my new goal, to be here with y'all on a regular basis. Yeah. So let me describe something. I don't know. Let me describe a touch lab. A touch lab is a concept that I came up with fairly recently, which because there's a major loneliness epidemic in our culture, in America in particular. There's a need for us to figure out how to connect with each other. And for me, as a somatic body worker, as a platonic touch professional, touch is such a critical part of that. Even though I get the sense that, well, for some people, touch is their love language. One of my coaches was telling me that yesterday. That's one of her love languages, and that's true. Probably mine too. But people are touchy about touch, which is kind of funny because your whole container for being a human being is your body. So if you feel funny about touch, it's probably because of some conditioning, religious, social, puritanical, corporate, who knows what it is. But anyway, people sometimes feel touchy about touch, even though I think we all really, really crave it. So a touch lab is a concept that I came up with, which gives you access to low stakes, guided, very safe touch that can with other people. So I used to host and run these things called cuddle parties, which are incredible. I recommend them if you can find one near you. But I think not people shy. I think it takes a brave person to go to a cuddle party. It's such a safe and beautiful and warm environment, but I think people can be intimidated by that idea of cuddling with people you don't know. But we still need opportunities to get to touch each other and to be touched, but in ways that are safe and then in ways that are, I don't mean to go off on a weird tangent, but are not dominated by sexual or patriarchal norms that make touch weird or something for sale or something weird. Anyway, I'm not into that. I think about it like to say this is not what that is, but I really don't even want to talk about that too much because there's enough. So I think the people that are attracted to these types of events are people who want to feel control in their body. They want to learn more about consent and boundaries. They want to be able to get what they want intimately, and not just intimately, like in a sexually intimate way, but in a way that makes you feel connected to other people. I spent a lot of time this year outside of the country. I was in the West Indies and then I was in Latin America for about 6 months this year. And in Latin America in particular, there's so much um, natural, non sexual touch. People are hugging, kissing, and holding hands and linking arms, and who are just friends, who are not lovers, but who are friends or family. Like, it's very natural. I think in the United States, it's not very natural for us. We've been taught that touch is dangerous or touch is something that's always going to be sexual, and it's not. And you can travel 500 miles, 1,000 miles down to Mexico or South America or somewhere else, Europe, lots of other countries where it's very, very normal. And even in Asian countries and other places that are not necessarily so touchy-feely, people are just crowded together. Like, you're just close to each other. And I think America is a very atomized country. We're all sort of this individual, rugged individual thing. But in that creation, we also get isolated from each other, which is what we see in literature and in science, that people are talking about how we're isolated and we're loneliness epidemic and all this jazz, right? So I don't think that's necessary to continue. And I think this massive drive towards artificial intelligence and artificial connections, like plastic dates and plastic figures to do stuff with. I mean, I'm not anyone who's at all against a sex toy, but there are ways to get needs met that don't require you to engage with a piece of rubber, and without being weird with other people, and without encroaching on other people's rights or values or their own benefits too. There's lots of other ways to do this, and so that's what I teach. That's what I teach in the container of This Is Deeper. That's what we teach here in our connection labs and in our touch labs. So connection labs are no touch events where people can spend time getting to know each other, connecting with each other in person. So I'm located right now in the Detroit, Michigan area. So I'm hosting these here. I'm happy to, if it grows, to travel and do more things. That's my vision for it to expand. But the connection labs are places, I don't know if you've ever heard of speed dating or something. It's not that. It's kind of the opposite of speed dating. But it's a chance to slow down, to get grounded in your body, and then also to connect with another person in a new way, in a very safe and guided, controlled way too. So that's a vision. So I'm just looking for venues to do it, to host them in and start to promote them. But those are coming up, the connection labs. And then the touch labs are going to be similar. Again, I just got here, so I'm just looking for venues, for places to do this, where you can, in a very safe space that's controlled and grounded, explore platonic touch with other people, very low stakes. So a full body hug would be at the extreme end of the touch. So it can be like, brushing someone's hand or brushing their arm. And then there's lots and lots of like consent and boundaries experience built into it too. So that's the vision. That's what I'm creating. And I'm looking forward to it because I think it's such a need. Like, we just really need to learn to be with each other. Like, all these folks who promote all this artificial intelligence and all this data collection about us and all this stuff about us probably can't look you in the eye for 20 seconds. Probably can't sit with you. I don't know them. I know some of them. I know a few tech C-suite people. They're nice. They're actually, some of them that I know are very much looking for human connection, but not really creating it in the work that they're doing. So I guess I'm stepping into that gap. That's what I'm doing. So this is Deeper and the Connection Labs and Touch Labs and our Deeper Date Nights, which are for couples who want to have a more intense, deep experience of their partner. Phone's ringing on the computer. Um, those are some of the offerings that we have to let people safely. I think that's so important. I'm just going to keep saying it. Safely learn to be with each other, connected to each other, connected to people who are new to them, or reconnecting to people who you know. One of my clients just texted me saying she's looking for a date for another date night with her husband. And she said, we are still using what we learned. They had a date night a couple months ago. Working with you to communicate in ways that are new. So we're not assuming that we know what the person's going to say. We're not going into it saying that we know what they're going to say just because we've been together 20 years. But we're going in saying, let me hear what you're saying. So those are, I mean, marriage and connection and intimacy and all that stuff is so multi-layered, but that's one way that this couple got something out of learning how to use non-sexual touch, presencing, emotional regulation, because a lot of us are operating on very dysregulated systems, and co-regulation, so how to regulate with one another, sort of in that date night experience, how they could see each other again and really be present with each other. So I think that's so important. I think that's really critical for why I thought of this work in the first place, how my own life experiences led me to feel that this is desirable. And I say that as an introvert. Like, I'm pretty introverted. Like, I can amuse myself for days or weeks if I've got art supplies, if I've got paint and canvases, if I've got yarn and hooks and needles, if I've got maybe one or two people around me, or if I've got my phone even. Like, I'm pretty self-sufficient naturally. But at the same time, I think the thing that I'm always, and I think a lot of people, I know it's not just me, are often seeking is connection with other people, in ways that make us feel good and make us feel connected. So, yeah, that's that. So I don't know. I don't know. I have an ex-husband who did a lot of lives, and he could be talking on a live for 4 or 5 hours. I don't really get that. I guess if people start talking to me back, then that's the case. But that is, hi, Lace Sosas. Hi, how are you, hon? But yeah, those are what I'm thinking about. Our touch labs and developing those. So I'm about to go to work. I may keep you on the live while I get to work, writing up some stuff and some proposals. I actually may need to get on the road soon to go. I really need to find a venue that's pretty reasonably priced that I can host the first few events at and get some momentum going so that they can be in the world and they can help people like you and me connect. So that's the plan, that's the vision. I got to check in with my kid to see when he's heading off to do physical therapy. So maybe I'll ride along with him and drop in on a couple places. That's all for now. These are my, let's see it. I got Invisalign, so I'm also learning to speak again with this extra plastic in my mouth. But anyway, my dear human, thank you for the likes. I got 2 likes on this video. I had people come and watch. I really appreciate it. I'm going to sign off for now and maybe come back later. See ya.